into this, let me hit that retweet button real quick. Let's make sure that everybody can hop in. Let it fill up a little bit.
Yeah, here we go. All right, best bets, and we'll also talk Kansas. Let's talk my hatred for Kansas.
Everyone coming in right now is really thrilled to hear Jeff talk out the tweets that he's typing.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I just want you guys all to know that any call that I'm on with Jeff this is exactly what it's like. He talks through every text that he sends and every tweet that he sends. Yeah, you do it a lot. All right, we're starting to fill up a little bit. So what's going on, everybody? I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, ate a lot of turkey, fell asleep at like 7 o'clock on the couch. Hopefully you guys had a better gambling day than we did yesterday. We got crushed. But look, Jeff, I figured it out. I know what the problem was. It was my fault. You know what I did?
It is your fault.
I switched my home field t-shirt. So I got the lucky one on today again, right? We went 8-2 with this t-shirt on. 8-2. Okay. So the comeback starts today. The comeback starts today.
I'm so pissed off at Ben Jacobson. Like, honestly, like, come on, Northern Iowa. You had that game in hand. Like, that was over. I'm watching it. I got a great setup here at Mohegan Sun. I got the game in front of me, and then I got two laptops going. So I'm looking. I got the official, stats broadcast on one of them. If I can't get it on TV, I got the other one. I'm watching that Northern Iowa, and I'm like, there's no way they're going to piss this away. There's no way, and they pissed it away. But we got some good picks. I feel pretty confident today. I do. I feel confident. I'm not going to be swayed by you to make a pick on a certain game. Okay, I'm going to defer. Like, if you tell me, here's the best game of the day, we can talk about it, but I'm not going to feel compelled to make a pick if I don't love it.
So you got your picks. I got my picks. We're going to make it go. Before we get into it, I just want to let everybody know, if you do want a t-shirt like this, if you do like the shirt that I have on, the shirt Jeff's been wearing in the past, homefieldapparel.com. Now, if you use the promo code FIELD68, you get 20% off. But Jeff, don't tell anyone this. This is a secret between everybody here on this live stream that is listening to this podcast. It's Black Friday sale for them. You can get 30% off if you go to the website right now, homefieldapparel.com. We're not getting anything out of that. I'm not even telling you to use the promo code. Go get that 30% off, baby. It's great. All right. So I do want to talk about the Gonzaga and Kansas game from yesterday real quick before we actually talk about the lines. I know that you hate Kansas. You think they're terrible. You dropped them out of your top 25. You said they're not going to make the NCAA tournament. So what's going on? Why do you hate Kansas? What's the issue?
All I tweeted. Listen, we're two days into the season, and I've already got Kansas and Auburn fans that hate me. And Auburn fans, if you're listening, which I don't think there are that many, but whatever. There's a few of you. I said you weren't that good last year, and it played out perfectly. And I'm saying it again this year. You stink this year. And the reason why you self-imposed, Bruce Pearl did, is because they know they're not good. They know they're not going to the tournament anyway. And they barely beat a St. Joe's team that was down the bottom of the A-10. All right, let's move on to Kansas, because there actually are Kansas fans. What I said was, after watching Kansas Gonzaga, Rob, who was the more talented team?
It's Gonzaga, and it's not close.
And that's my take on this thing, is it is starting to catch up with Kansas now. The NCAA investigation. It didn't. They actually were able to, and not just them, Arizona, Auburn, USC, were able to recruit through it until the NCAA investigation started to move. And now it's really hit them. They've got two JUCO kids, one on their roster now, and they just signed one yesterday. Their talent level is not what it normally is. They don't have that stud. Who's their best player, Rob?
It's Marcus Garrett, and that ends up being the problem, is because they don't have that star. Like, everyone on their roster is a really, really good kind of role player piece. They don't have that star. They don't have that Devon Dotson. They don't have someone like a Udoka Azubuike. They don't have a go-to guy. And that's kind of
pick.
They don't have one. They don't have a pro.
Right.
They don't have a pro.
Like, I get it. Bryce Thompson, it's his first game. Maybe he's going to be a star. Maybe he will. We don't know that yet. All I'm saying is, overall, like, if I gave you some of the names, I got them here. of a couple guys that they signed. All right, tell me who these guys. First of all, Isaac McBride never played and transferred to Vandy. DeJuan Harris. Do you know who DeJuan Harris is?
Yeah, he's their backup point guard.
Backup.
Everyone knows DeJuan Harris. What? Who are you?
You know Jethro.
Who are
Muskidin?
you?
Do you know Jethro Muskidin?
He was a 3-star prospect that they signed, and I know that because when they signed him, I was like, "Who the hell is Jethro Muskidin?"
Do you know Latrell Giselle?
No, I don't. I have no idea. All right,
3 guys on their roster that honestly could be at like UMKC.
Okay, so Kansas minus 18.5. I'm guessing that means that you are going to be on St. Joe's today.
I'm on the Ryan Daly train. First of all, I'm on the Ryan Daly train every game for St. Joe's because you know what? He looks like you. Okay, he looks like you. He does not have the body that everybody wants, which is basically what everybody says when they see you. He even told me, he's like, they call me a fire hydrant. That's what fans will call it. Like they'll get on him.
That's pretty funny.
Ryan Daly is like one of the best players in the country. He knows how to play. Anyway, he's St. Joe's. So Kansas fans, watch out today for Ryan F. Daly because you cannot stop him.
So I like Kansas in this spot, laying 18.5. I don't love them. It's not one of my favorite bets, but I feel like since we just talked about Kansas, I should probably mention
St.
that.
Joe's stinks. So I'm not.
Yeah, St. Joe's is terrible, and Marcus Garrett is going to eat Ryan Daly alive, and it's like a perfect bounce back spot. Like, look, we can say what we want about Kansas.
Yeah.
I think that yesterday's result had way more to do about Gonzaga and the talent
100%.
on that roster than what's going on with Kansas.
Yes.
Perfect buy low, bounce back spot. The line's already coming down. When I woke up this morning, it was 19. It's down to 18.5. So I'll be on Kansas in this spot. I don't love it, but it's not bad.
Fans, before we move on to the best bets, what I will tell you is you can still go to the Final Four. You could still win a national title. Bill Self is arguably the best X's and O's coach in America. Okay, so like you have enough talent, but you just don't have Kansas level talent, and it's only going to get worse next season.
All right, so let's keep it moving. What's your favorite bet for today?
Richmond against Morehead State. Kentucky obliterated Morehead State the other day, and Kentucky is a team full of inexperienced players, which is no surprise. They're all freshmen. The one guy that Kentucky was supposed to have that had any experience was Keon Brooks. He didn't even play in that game, and they blasted Morehead State. Richmond is the opposite. They are a team full of veterans. Their average age of their starters, I believe, is 22 years old right now. So I like Chris Mooney's team. I dropped them down after they had a key injury in the preseason. I dropped them from like 15 to like 30. The only thing I worry about with Richmond is they don't play at a pace that necessarily favors a route. But I think they'll cover 21. Yeah,
that would be my concern is the pace that they play at. My favorite bet of the day, speaking about pace, is Virginia minus 13.5 against San Francisco here at I guess it's tipping off in about 2 hours.
I got that one too. Yeah, I'll be here. I love that one. Love it.
I mean, USF lost to UMass Lowell. UMass Lowell is not very good. And Virginia, to me, I still think that there is a sense in the market and there's a sense kind of in the lines that are being given right here that this is the team that they were last year, and they are absolutely not. Sam Hauser changes everything. Trey Murphy changes everything. They can shoot this year. They can score this year. Last season, the problem with that Virginia team was they did not have a go-to guy at all. They ranked, I know you hate KenPom, but they ranked 234th in KenPom's adjusted offensive efficiency rankings. That was between New Orleans and GW. They were running Mamadi Diakite through the actions that they would run Kyle Guy off of the year before. This year,
if he played this year's team, if he played, Diakite played on this year's team, he could be their fourth option.
Yes.
Like Jay Huff. Now, again, we'll see against better competition, but USF isn't that much better than Towson, who Virginia crushed. Now, again, are they going to shoot it like that? No, maybe not, but Hauser.
They don't need to. They don't need to. That's the thing. So last year there was one game all season where Virginia scored more than 65 points. They had 89 points in their opener against Towson. I'm not saying that this team is as good as a national title team because I don't think that it is, but this team is back to being a top 10 good, maybe top 5 good, maybe best team in the ACC good. And when Virginia is at that level, the defense is always going to be there, right?
That's
and
the
so
thing.
good luck, USF.
If they hold USF to under 60, Virginia's just got to score, 73 points.
Yeah. All right. Give me. Let's keep moving. What do you got next?
I'm on board with Virginia. I got Richmond. I got Boise State. Getting 11.5 against a Houston team that's missing or did miss its best player or one of the best scorers. I think Boise's older. I've got them actually winning the Mountain West, which a lot of people will say I'm crazy after San Diego State's performance the other night. But Derek Alston's one of the best players in the country that people do not know about at Boise. And they're getting 11.5. I know it's in Texas. I get it. But again, the home court advantage, does it mean what it normally does?
No.
It's not going to because you don't have fans. So to me, 11.5 there, that's a lot to lay with two teams that are pretty comparable in terms of talent.
Yeah, I think I lean with you there. I don't think people realize just how well I don't think people realize just how talented Boise State is, but it's also, I mean, it's very hard for me to fade Houston in any spot just because of how good that team is. Yeah, Kelvin.
Yeah.
You said so. Is Caleb Mills back? I haven't checked the status.
I don't know if he's back yet. I'll find out. I'll find out for sure. I don't know that yet.
Because if he's still out, then that makes me like Boise State a lot more. If he's not playing, today. So my next favorite line is Toledo. I got him at plus 10.5. It's down to plus 10. And it's the same logic that we took yesterday when we were taking Toledo. Toledo in the season opener went to the buzzer and lost at the buzzer against Bradley, right? Bradley missed the front end of a 1-1 that would have beaten Xavier on Xavier's home floor yesterday, right? If the kid made 2 free throws, they would have beaten Xavier at home. Toledo went out and blew out an Oakland team that Xavier also blew out. And now Bradley, who was Bradley's favored by 13 against Oakland. Toledo was favored by 8 against Oakland. Bradley was an 8-point dog against Xavier. Toledo was a 10.5-point dog against Xavier. Third game in 3 days. Those tend to be a little bit low scoring. I think you're going to start seeing some legs. So I do think that the under might also be in play. But if it's a lower scoring game, that means that those extra points that you're getting are more valuable. So I love Toledo plus 10 in this spot. I got them at 10.5. If you can get, I'd take them at anything above 8.
Yeah, I don't have a huge thought on that one. I would probably take Toledo too, just because Xavier's shorthanded. I think it might catch up with them. They got a fortunate break playing Oakland in their opener, and Oakland just came out of the quarantine. So I'm with you on that one. All right, so the team I'm going to go up against every game, maybe every single game, and not just because of his face shield, but is Georgia Tech and Josh Pastner. Every game. Now, first of all, I talked to Josh a bunch in the preseason, and he was so concerned about contact tracing that they barely practiced contact. And you saw that right away. I mean, a 4 overtime game. First of all, going 4 overtimes against Georgia State unto itself for Georgia Tech is an embarrassment. Second of all, that you went 4 overtimes in your first game, and now you got to come back 48 hours later. And again, it's the first game of the season. You haven't practiced contact very much. I'm taking Mercer all day, every day, plus 13. I think Greg Gary's got a good team there. They've added a couple of key transfers last year. We're much better in the league than most people thought. I'm taking Mercer plus 13, and that actually might be my favorite bet of the day.
Mercer plus 13. All right. That was not even on my list, so I'm going to add it. And I like that. I like that logic. All right. Seton Hall plus 6 is interesting to me. Because Louisville's all kinds of banged up right now. Malik Williams is out, and he's kind of like their defensive anchor, their leader, their senior center. David Johnson is not what I thought he was going to end up being.
Not yet.
And I know that Seton Hall, they missed a bunch of time because of a COVID quarantine, but they got back on, I think it was the 20th, which was last Friday.
Yeah, it's been about a week.
They've had a week to get back into it. I know that they lost a lot. And so my biggest concern with Seton Hall this season is the fact that they have a very different identity. You know, when you lose Quincy McKnight and you lose Romaro Gill and you lose Miles Powell, you go from being like one of the toughest teams in the country to, okay, how do you replace that mentality that you had? That said, Bryce Aiken's a stud, and he's back. He should be healthy now at this point. You never know with Bryce Aiken, but he should be healthy.
He's not, but okay. Honestly, I feel like those 2 Harvard transfers are never going to be healthy again. Seth Towns and Bryce Aiken.
That's fair. It's fair. I mean, but it's not just him.
They don't need him. They don't need him. They need to just be out of quarantine long enough to be at like 90% to beat Louisville that has no bigs.
Yep. So the only other thing that I'll add is that Jared Rhoden is a guy that has a chance to be a breakout player. I think Miles Cale, we're finally going to see him end up being the guy that we all wanted him to be last year. So the fact that there's no.
Here's my text to Kevin Willard while we're talking. I said, how many practices have you guys had since coming out of the quarantine? You know what his response was?
What?
Not enough. Willard's the best. The best, like, just fantastic. Like,
that's a good answer. That's a good answer. All right, give me your last pick.
My last pick, after I blew the Kansas State one, the other night on their first game, I went with K-State, not realizing how badly they really suck. And they are the bottom of the Big 12 and probably the bottom by far of the Big 12. I'm absolutely laying the points with Colorado and McKinley Wright. It's 6.5. Rob, don't you love that?
Yes.
Like, I love that pick. Like Kansas State really isn't good. They lost to Drake. Drake is scheduled, predicted to finish towards the bottom of the valley. Colorado is a team that, honestly, I'm not sure they can win the Pac-12, but they've got one of the best players in the country, one of the best point guards, who's a veteran, a senior. And they got enough talent around him. Tyler Bay's gone, but they got enough talent around him. I'm going to lay the 6.5 there and feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I don't love the spot just because it does feel kind of like a bounce back buy low spot for Kansas at home. I never love small favorites on the road, but there's absolutely no way that I would be betting Kansas State in any situation at any point right now. So if I was going to be on a team, it would be Colorado in that spot. So there are 3 more that I wanted to discuss just because they're big games of the day. I wanted to make sure that we touch on them. The first one is Gonzaga Auburn. I tweeted it out yesterday. I tried to let you guys know. Gonzaga was a 12.5 point favorite. Like, that was one of the games where the lines were available like a couple weeks ago. And Gonzaga was a 12.5 point favorite. Now Auburn just went to overtime with St. Joe's. Gonzaga just proved that they're the most talented team in the country. They're the best team in college basketball. I don't think that anybody is really going to argue that point right now. And the line has moved up to 16.5. It opened up at 12.5. So hopefully you guys listened to me when I tried to put you on a game. I'm probably not going to take it at 16.5 because that is just it's getting a little high in what should be like a letdown spot for Gonzaga.
But isn't Auburn like a mid-major team this year?
They're not good, and like Sharif Cooper's not there, and so they lost 5 starters. They're not going to have their best point guard.
Young guys, I feel like 16.5. I still like. Listen, anybody who watched Gonzaga yesterday, how do you not like laying the 6? Like, they were just so dominant, looked so good out of the gates that I'm certainly not taking Auburn.
Yeah, you're not taking Auburn, but it's the value's gone at 16.5, I think. So the only other thing that I'll say is, one, it is a West Coast team playing an 8 a.m. tip in Florida. So that is a little bit of a concern to me. I also think that it's worth looking at the under in this spot. The totals moved from 158 to 163.5. And I just don't see any way that Auburn is going to be able to run with Gonzaga. Like, they're dumb if they do it.
Score, what are you looking at? Like a final score of like 90 to 65 or something?
90 to 73 means that Gonzaga covers and the game goes under.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Auburn will guard. I think Auburn will guard. They're just
here's the other thing. There's a spot similar to this 2 years ago at the Maui Invitational.
Like
the first half. Yeah.
First half Zags. I like that one. Colin.
What's the first half line there for the Zags? I don't have it in front of me, but but that's that. There's probably still value there as well. But yeah, I like the last thing I wanted to say about that was that 2 years ago in Maui, Auburn was playing Duke, and everyone thought that game was going to go over. The total was at 167 or something like that.
Yeah.
And what Auburn did was they just completely took the air out of the ball, the same way that Villanova did last night against Arizona State. And obviously that game still went over, but that's just because Josh Christopher decided to foul 3 times in the final 15 seconds. Unbelievable.
Text thread and
we don't need to talk about that because I'm still scarred. All right. So the last 2 things that I did want to touch on: Northern Iowa minus 2.5 against Utah State, who's not very good, in a bounce back spot. Northern Iowa could have beaten Western Kentucky in the opener, and they should have beaten St. Mary's last night. I feel like that's a good buy low spot. And I also like Western Kentucky plus 7.5 against West Virginia in the title game of the Angry Lawnmowers of South Dakota Classic, or whatever that shit is called.
Yeah, Bad Boy. Just call it Bad Boy. It's the
bad boys.
The Bad Boy. I mean, think about it. You have Rick Stansbury and Bob Huggins in the final. What better Bad Boy matchup than those 2 right now?
Yeah,
right?
That's perfect.
It is.
You're right.
It's exactly how they scripted it, even after 42 teams bailed out of that event over the last month. But yeah, listen, I like UNI. I hate to say it, but I do. I like AJ Green and those guys to bounce back. And Utah State is not very good without Sam Merrill. I wouldn't be laying or taking points with Utah State anytime soon. I don't love Western Kentucky. Here's why I don't love Western Kentucky. Yesterday, Charles Bassey was able to go to work. He dominated that game. So much more athletic, everything. Well, now you got Big Oscar and Derek Culver going against him. Maybe Charles Bassey will still be good. I don't know, but you got 2 bigs that are super talented, big, strong, athletic to try to neutralize them. So it'll be a hell of a matchup. Don't get me wrong. Great matchup. Yeah,
no, I see what you're saying. I don't necessarily think that Western Kentucky is going to win. I just think that they're better than what the market values them at right now. So I think that line should probably be 5.5 or 6. So if you get 7.5,
Slick Rick fan anyway. You've always been.
Yeah, he's great. Well, he coached circles around Penny Hardaway yesterday. So
wow,
he did. Rough. He did. I think Penny would probably admit it as well. That was just they were just better. And I'm still on Memphis long term. But Western Kentucky, they controlled the pace. The Hollingsworth kid made so many big shots.
He's good.
Charles Bassey completely embarrassed anybody that Memphis decided to put in the front line. It was bad.
Blocks in that game.
It was bad. So yeah, I think that I like this Western Kentucky. They got pros on that roster. That's the thing. They got pros on that roster. It's not that Western Kentucky team is built like a high major.
It is. So everybody, again, listen, make sure every day we're back here, 9 a.m. Eastern time. I think we'll be back here every day, both of us. We might have a fill-in here and there when Rob sucks. If I can figure out this whole thing of how to stream it live, we might kick Rob off for a day.
There's no way you'd be able to figure this out. You can barely send a text message.
I was the first one to actually try this out, so you cannot say that. There's probably more things involved than I know. But, make sure you subscribe. Field of 68, not just for best bets, but also for all the other content that we have. We have a million podcasts for your favorite team. Hopefully, we have national ones. Rob's doing a great one with Deshaun Butler. I'm doing one with Robbie Hummel, John Bannon, Demetrius Nichols. We got Christy Winter Scott. So make sure you subscribe and buy home field apparel gear also. More important.
Yes, buy home field apparel gear. And Jalen Suggs, Wooden Award, plus 10,000. Get on it now. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Later.